like to call the board meeting to order. Roll call, please.
President Byrne,
Here.
Trustee Markwart.
Here.
Trustee Cook. Trustee Hebda.
Here.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Schultz.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we have a quorum present. Will everybody please stand for Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay. First item is, any citizens wishing to address the board tonight?
Not the bed last one, that way.
Okay,
No,
great.
it's true, I just got.
All right, first item is, my report, Open Meetings Act training meeting, session will be February 28th at 7 PM. Are we billing this as a special meeting too? Or a workshop or?
I think it would be like a special committee of the whole,
Okay,
and we'll have something to drink, I mean, some non-alcoholic beverages, and maybe a snack or two, because it'll be like a working session, and Bob will be
how long
there.
does it take, this session?
Well, theoretically, if everyone is to task, 45 minutes to an hour, if you're on task. I
3 hours.
Any
Where's
judgments?
that timer? Do we still have that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got it, yeah. It's
It's
indisposable.
not gonna happen, I'm sure.
Okay,
But it's a good process, and you talked about doing it together, because going through it, it's an educational, whole process, and you'll be able to, interface with the village attorney and discuss
We
issues.
do that every week.
Well, this one will be focused only on open meetings,
Okay,
one subject.
but we have to have a special meeting for 45 minutes of discussion.
apparently so.
Then we
you
have
know.
to take a test then.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah, you
that
have to
part.
take a test. You could do it. What we'll do is have you all lined up here, and go
Line up
into
and-
the you go into the AG's website, and then you take the test. And John.
Yeah, and this has to be completed by,
December,
12:30.
Probably the 29th.
12.
yeah,
what December what?
December 31st.
The end of December
year.
this year.
I thought I read something where it should be, you have 90 days to complete the training.
No, it said December,
After January 1st, if you're
December.
elected or appointed. Okay.
Oh, next year, right.
Yeah, all right, great.
Oh, sorry.
All right, and then the next item is the State of the Village presentation. That was Thursday of last week, and yours truly presided, and I don't know, what do we have, about 30, 40 people there?
We had at least 40 people.
Yeah, 40 people other than ourselves. And staff was here also, and I think everybody appreciated what was presented, and then there was, some color commentary from me, and staff jumped into the fray on a few items too. So with that said, it's going to be on TV, and was it on the website already,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Next is village manager, electric aggregation.
oh, do we say something?
Again, just a reminder, on March 8th at 7 PM in this room, we'll have a presentation on the electric aggregation project among the 7 municipalities, our neighbors to the south, east, and west. And we'll go through some of the information on it, and again, urge people to vote on the 20th. At the primary, you'll have a chance to express your interest if you want the village to work with these other 6 municipalities to aggregate electricity. Again, the main focus is to save money on the electric generation portion of your Commonwealth Edison bill.
We'll have gas and-
So that's on the 8th at 7 PM. And then, summer celebration, yes, we do have the acts all signed. Everything we're, jumping ahead on. On Thursday is Tropics Explosion. You can guess what kind of band that is, I guess. Friday is Mike and Joe's the opener, and the Freddie Jones Band is on Friday. Then on Saturday, Hartsfield opens, and Dave Mason, famous of Traffic, for us of a certain age, remember Traffic, Stevie Winwood, all those people. Anyway, and then finally, Mr. Slade on Sunday. So that is
We got the
July 19th, which, by the way, is my mother's birthday, and all through Sunday, July 22nd.
Good.
July 18th.
I saw the YouTube on Trop Explosion. They looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of them, that's the one I'd be looking forward to the most.
You'll relate to Dave Mason, trust me.
No,
No,
Dave Mason, I'd be
Oh.
worried. I think we need to have the AEDs there. He's fatter than I am, and he's awful old.
you know, I saw him at the Viper Room. It's probably the best concert I've ever seen.
Is that
They
right?
were great. Hence, that's why I kind of stepped into that because I was forced to by my daughter. But it was very good. It really was very good. And we got to see a Super Bowl ring, which is probably the last Super Bowl ring we'll ever see from the Bears until they hired the cheerleaders back. That's my theory. And/or present ownership sells the team.
Get a better shot with the cheerleader.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, okay. What else we got here? Finance director, Akron budget schedule. We have our
We got a book.
books here.
Right, we have the books, we also have it in a downloadable form. And what I'm proposing is that we try and do our budgets during the two regular committee of the whole meetings in March 7th and the 22nd. And then if that doesn't work, we then do it the fifth Tuesday in March.
Oh, I can't. I have surgery that day. I can't do it.
Is that it?
Yeah,
So the first meeting you think will be when?
would be the March 7th, I'm sorry, the March 6th committee of the whole meeting.
I won't be here on the 7th. I'm having surgery.
We're gonna be here on the sixth?
I could be here on the 6th.
But you're saying the meeting's the seventh?
No, I'm sorry, I meant the 6th.
Okay.
And then the next meeting is March 21st.
Okay,
Right,
okay.
right.
And the 20th, right? Both of them are on Tuesday, Larry?
No, the other one's the.
It is on the 21st.
21st is a Wednesday.
Okay.
And then you're saying, Larry, to go to the following Tuesday, which is spring break, if I don't think it's gonna be gone, probably. Spring break week.
I guess I'm hopeful, and it'll obviously depend on how heavy the agenda is, that we can cover the budget in the two regular committee of the whole meeting.
Mhm.
I will not be in town the 27th.
Well, maybe Larry and everyone, as we get closer to it, if you were able to make, say, the Thursday the 22nd or something, or Wednesday the 21st, maybe, it depends
Well,
how.
Wednesday the 21st, we've
Wednesday
already got
he's
a
got
meeting.
marked. Wednesday we got.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Wednesday, I meant, that's right, because of the election.
Thursday, the
But maybe
22nd.
Thursday, the 22nd,
Yeah, that works.
Oh, that's right, the election's on the 20th, isn't
yeah. Okay, so, question mark on the 22nd?
Yeah.
And then we'll put the first.
Okay, everybody's clear on that?
it? All right, that's yours.
All right. Route 45 Phase 1 study.
Thank you. Prior to last village board meeting, February 7th, there was a Phase 1 IDOT open house. Really, they're winding down on the Phase 1 study. There was opportunity to provide public comment. Really, what I wanted to do is just remind residents, business owners, that there still is time if they didn't put their comments into IDOT, that they could supply comments for the public record through February 24th, submitting comments via email to us45@transsystems.com, and Mike has added to the screen to assist us all. IDOT's anticipating design approval during the summer, this summer, 2012, and they're hoping to move forward with the final plans. This is the end of the Phase 1 study, and really looking at the geometrics, the intersection improvements, environmental impacts. So we do ask that if residents do have any concerns, that they do email IDOT. Certainly they can CC us on their comments and questions. So another part that our village board will be asked to do is to approve a 4F de minimis letter. Essentially what that is, it's an environmental impact for park areas. Our golf course would be the one of consideration for the village board, and they're really looking to what impact would this have on parks. You know, for the golf course, would it eliminate a golf hole? Would it eliminate the ability to, you know, have recreation? So just wanted to update the board on that. I will present that at a future meeting. It's not something on the agenda for today. So, thank you.
I've got one point. It was brought up to me, and I don't know if I'll have a chance to go online. So if I could ask you to, the intersection of Fairway and 45, it is really dark right now. And I don't know, I don't remember what the plan is for street lighting. And if there's nothing in the plan, could there be something at that intersection?
Not an intersection, there's no lighting,
I will include that in a comment to IDOT. Typically, they don't light a specific intersection. They'll ask for it to be a whole stretch of the roadway.
Right.
So that might be the reason why they didn't include it, but
Yeah.
I understand your point.
Yeah, and you know, the county's right there with the lift station, so tap into them for the power.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the
police station.
omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through F?
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments or questions? Roll call.
I have to go back.
Trustee Schwartz, Trustee Williams, oh, I'm sorry. Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Cook,
Aye.
Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'm sorry.
Okay, unfinished business, we have the approval of the Kemper voucher list of bills dated February 21st, 2012, in the amount of $7,964.20. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second, comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Williams,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Cook,
Aye.
Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz.
Motion carries. Next item is approval of February 7th, 2012 Village Board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second?
Motion is second. Comments, questions, deletions, corrections? If none, roll call, please.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Cook,
Aye.
Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz, Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay,
C.
See,
yeah, no, approval and passage of ordinance number 2012-015, Norton granting a variation from the sign code for Target located at 313 East Town Line Road in the village of Vernon Hills. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Williams.
no,
Trustee Hebda.
No.
Mayor Byrne.
Aye. Motion carries. Motion approved. Okay. Any new business or communication to come before the board? Anything?
nothing.
Okay, I just want to say that, some of us, I think, went to the grand opening ceremony of, New Century Park. Is that correct? The new pavilion?
Mm-hmm.
That's still part of Century Park, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to say that, the project was well done. I actually found my way over there this afternoon and kind of rode around there, not in my vehicle. Probably should have been in a vehicle, but with that said, yeah, it's real nice. And do we have a link that, on our website that pulls you into their website? Yeah, because I get, my wife advised me that, a couple of people at school have actually rented the pavilion, for get-togethers, so. But anyway, you should go back there because the paths are, go all the way around the sledding hill and such, and there's a little more park equipment there, and, it's nice, so. Okay, any other new business or communication? If not, is there a motion to adjourn the board meeting to go into committee of the whole?
An executive session?
So moved.
Yeah, we gotta go into executive session just for personnel?
Personnel.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go in after committee of the whole, so.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. First item is approval of the February 7th, 2012 committee of the whole minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions, corrections? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Motion carries. First item is request from the Tilted Kilt to operate an outdoor special event at 447 North Milwaukee Avenue. Is the representative from Tilted Kilt here? Would the representative like to step forward?
Your Honor, real quickly, if you wish, I can provide a summary of the event. The event, the request also includes request to serve alcohol in the parking lot under a tent, which is a requirement. It's normally prohibited by the Liquor and Licensing Code, so the board would have to waive that requirement as part of the event. The event is part of Tilted Kilt's nationwide celebration of St. Patrick's Day and would take place on Saturday, March 17th. There would be live entertainment that would include 2 Irish bands and 1 70s, 80s cover band. The tent, as I talked about, would be located in the parking lot on the east side of the restaurant. It can accommodate up to 500 customers. There'd be portable restrooms on the south side of the property. In addition, Marketplace Shopping Center has granted permission for the use of their parking facility, which is to the east of Tilted Kilt, and then the Tilted Kilt would provide a crossing guard to assist people from Marketplace's parking lot to the Tilted Kilt property where the event is taking place. The special event application and site plan showing the location of the tent is attached to your packet. And for tonight, if the committee of the whole feels that the temporary use is appropriate, then a motion directing staff to prepare a resolution authorizing the event, including authorization to serve alcohol in the parking lot is recommended, subject to the conditions that are outlined in your packet. And the petitioner is here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Any comments or trustee Markwart?
Yes, a question would be, I didn't see anything in there for a fence around the perimeter in the parking lot. Should there be, or?
There certainly could be. There's nothing specifically that would require that in the liquor and licensing code, but certainly the committee could require that as a condition of approval for the special event.
I'm just thinking that access is easy in, easy out, and that's.
Are you
the
thinking
only-
something like a snow fence type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
snow-
You know, temporary snow fence type
It's
thing?
actually a good idea.
So, because then I don't know how you people pay, but you keep them corralled.
And it's
Yeah.
not people
I mean,
wondering.
that's not
in
a
and
bad
out.
idea at all, absolutely.
Right.
And it's just a snow fence. It's-
Right, yeah.
A better way of controlling who you're
Mhm.
selling to, I would think, with a fence of some sort.
Yeah, that was gonna be exactly my one comment, was the security on the perimeter.
Does the-
Otherwise,
Other than some of that, no?
Does the chief have anything?
You know, any event like this always raises some concerns, but according to their application, they plan on having 4 of our officers there for the duration of the event. I think that should
That shows.
help control a lot
Yeah,
and says a lot about the intent of the event.
that's good.
I'm fine with
Okay.
Legal.
it. I brought
Well, is there a motion to approve?
it. Motion to approve.
Motion
Second?
directing staff to prepare the resolution, and then does that include the condition for the fence?
Yes,
Yeah, please.
The first and second, Cruz?
yes.
Okay. You gotta state your name for the record.
Chris Gocius, do you need address and all that? 4212 Devonshire Court, Northbrook, Illinois.
And you're the owner?
I'm one of the franchisees, yes. And my partner, Steve Schuler, is here with Midnight as well.
Yeah, okay. All right.
We don't have to do anything as far as a liquor license is concerned with
No.
this, correct?
No,
Because
right,
it's a
no.
Class A, so we're okay.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Schwartz, trustee Williams,
Aye.
trustee Hebda,
Aye.
trustee Cook,
Aye?
trustee Markwart,
Aye.
trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
You know, we have this
Invited.
back, what?
Thank you.
For the first meeting in,
For the first meeting in March,
Yeah.
Great,
we'll have the resolution on the omnibus agenda.
great.
good.
Thank you. Sounds like an idea.
Okay, next item is request for a outdoor merchandise display and sales permit for the Home Depot at 493 North Milwaukee Avenue. The petitioner here? Yeah. You want to state your name, please, for the record?
Barry Zinke, I'm the manager of the Home Depot.
Okay. So what's your position on this one, Mike, or staff?
Well, this is, I mean, based on the success and how, and the good job that Home Depot's done in the past 2 years as far as keeping the site clean, keeping all the landscape goods within the enclosure, and also based on the fact that they're basically requesting the same thing, same location, that staff has no real immediate concerns. Just as a quick reminder, there was a point last year where they had a smaller sized enclosure, and then they had so much product delivered that we granted them approval to increase the size of the enclosure. So the increased size was 96 feet by 239 feet, and that's the request that's before you tonight. And so we're a little more confident that that's the appropriate size that can accommodate all the product that they'll have delivered to their site. So for tonight's meeting, again, the committee is requested to, if they think the outdoor merchandise display sales permit is appropriate, to direct staff to prepare a resolution approving it. And Barry is here from Home Depot to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, trustee Markwart.
Yeah, my question again was with last year, the size, which you've already answered, because I think personally, it was a smaller size and it became larger, and personally, I think you need a larger area. It will accommodate it, and I'm fine with it.
Thank you.
Okay, trustee Schultz.
Have we gotten any feedback from Steinhoffels?
I have a letter approving it
Okay.
in there.
Yeah.
All right. I take that back.
You know, the only feedback I've received really at all in the last 2 years was a couple times the drive lane was shut down. We've approached Home Depot. They've been advised to keep it open, and they've done so since that time.
Yeah, the last couple of years it's been run real well, so.
Yeah, it's been,
And looked
motion to
nice.
approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
The secretary, run that.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz.
Motion carries.
Forgive me, Your Honor, who made the motion in the second?
I made the motion and
Tom,
Tom made the
second.
second.
Thank you.
Next item is Noodles and Company, a request for outdoor dining and seating. 700 North
Mr.
700 North Milwaukee Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, as everyone knows, this facility is still under construction, and I called to get an update on completion, and I was told the first week in April was the goal. So that's the estimated time is for completion. And just as a reminder to the board, as part of the approval for this building, it was anticipated there would be outdoor dining, and there was an outdoor patio with a fence enclosure that was previously approved by the village board on the east side of the building. So Noodles and Company is now just requesting the permit for that outdoor dining, and it would be within that enclosure. There'd be 9 tables with a seating capacity for 28 customers, and the size of the patio is appropriate to accommodate that number of tables. So again, for tonight's meeting, if the committee feels that the request for the outdoor dining permit is appropriate, then staff should be directed to prepare a resolution approving the permit. And the petitioner is here to answer any questions that you may have.
Any comments or questions? Then what's your name, please?
Oscar Salzar. I'll be the general manager at the Noodles, Vernon Hills.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second, and let's hope the weather is good. As nice as it has been, because it would be nice, just enough.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And again, Mike, you said what, anticipated opening date again?
April 1st?
First week of April,
Okay.
April 8th.
Good, I liked it better
Very
than the
good,
original
thank you.
one, because I'll be back.
Good luck.
Oh, I love noodles.
Okay,
Sign on
last item is consideration of a text amendment to the sign code eliminating a conflict of provisions related to office building wall signs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and more than anything, direction from the board on this. We had received a permit request from Rust-Oleum for 2 wall signs, and in doing the review, we came upon a conflict in the sign code. I've outlined what those conflicts are in your packet, but just briefly, Section 19-3 C7 is a section of the code that would appear to allow the wall signs on elevations of the building, and specifically this relates to office buildings that face on a public right-of-way or access drive. It even goes on to say in the last sentence of this, it goes into detail as far as where the sign can be, the size of the sign and such. In the last sentence it says, office buildings with 1 or more tenants shall be permitted 1 tenant identification sign as defined herein. And as defined herein means as you read the definition, one sign per elevation that faces a right-of-way or access drive. Conversely, when we go to section 19-3C6, that's entitled building mounted signs, that also goes into requirements for wall signs, but then has an exception at the end of that statement, and this is where the conflict is. It says, building mounted signs are prohibited on single and multi-tenant office building signs. And so we discovered this conflict, and that's why it's before you tonight. Staff believes that the first section that I reviewed with you, 19-3C7, is the one that applies. It would be consistent with other office buildings within the community that has wall signs, like Fifth Third Bank, CDW, American Hotel Register, and North Shore Universal Health System. So what staff is looking for tonight is direction from the board in terms of resolving the conflict. Staff's recommendation is to delete section 19-3C6. That's the section that has the exception that prohibits wall signs on an office building, to resolve the conflict and let the provisions of 19-3C7 prevail. So that's just a quick summary of it. If the committee agrees with staff's interpretation and recommendation, then a motion directing staff to prepare an ordinance amending the sign code, deleting the exception in 19-3C6 is requested, and I can answer any questions that you might have.
So, okay, but you think by making this recommended change, what, people won't still seek a variance of any sort?
Well, by deleting the exception, then we resolve the conflict in the sign code. And for office buildings, the principal tenant, only the principal tenant in an office building can have a wall sign, and only one wall sign per frontage. And that seems to be consistent with other office buildings that are in the community, so we believe that was the intent of the sign code, and that's why we're recommending deletion of the exception that would prohibit wall signs on an office.
So that would carve out any kind of retail?
Yeah, it wouldn't apply to retail at all. It would only apply to office buildings.
How would it apply to like a service station and repair shop like Ernie's and the mobile?
Gas stations, the sign code has specific regulations just for gas stations, so that would remain unchanged.
Okay.
And then for retail buildings, whether it's a standalone retail building or whether it is a multi-tenant retail building, those regulations too would remain unchanged.
All right. Then, you know, let me ask a question. As far as the basis for a wall sign, and I guess I'll bring it up regarding Ernie's. There's a body shop in there that they want to put up some exterior signs. What's the limitation on it? Is it just still based on basically the frontage?
Yeah, it is a strata, and we're aware of the annexation agreement that allows the existing signs for Ernie's to remain on there. Estrada opened up about a year and a half ago. They have 50 feet of frontage that faces Milwaukee Avenue. I've met with her in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So she's allowed to have a 50 square foot sign. They're in the process of putting together the drawings and submitting them for permit. So she will be permitted to have a sign on that building.
Yeah. Now, what about a sign on the street?
That the code would not permit. You're allowed one monument sign. Ernie's has, I believe, 3, which are permitted to be there through the annexation agreement. But for there to be a 4th monument sign, a variation would be required. They could also get a variation to take one of the Ernie's signs and make it into a 2-panel sign. It would require a variation, but that's also possible.
Okay. All right. So, Trustee Williams.
So Rust-Oleum wants, excuse me, 2 wall signs, plus they want to keep the monument sign.
That's correct. They want one wall sign that faces Milwaukee Avenue, and one that faces Hawthorne Parkway.
They don't think anybody knows that they're there? I mean, people have been finding them for how many years? That building was there when I moved in town in '77.
There's no such thing as bad advertising.
There's a such thing as over-advertising, in my opinion. I don't think they need all the
Do
signs.
we have any pictures of that?
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Just the two, just the
It's
two.
just that little wording up here at the top.
It's the last page on,
That's all right, John had to fix mine, so don't feel bad.
it's the last one.
I think I'm in view, not download. You know,
Probably.
Should be good then.
It's there.
I don't have any place to hit.
I had to download mine.
I would just explain to them, they are allowed to have a sign on
I think if you're gonna tinker with the ordinance, you better tinker with it to get rid of some of the signs, not allow more.
Well, that's basically what you're doing, is you're taking out the conflict.
Right.
So therefore, there is no justification for additional signage.
Right.
So with the point being, you're asking here you're looking for a motion to prepare an ordinance to eliminate the second, whatever that was, 16C or whatever,
19-3 C6.
C6. I'll make that motion if that is an acceptable.
The motion is simply to,
Follow staff's recommendation and get rid of the
you want to.
quote-unquote exemption.
Second.
But that,
I can't do that. You break it up and I can do so.
but this is not, this is
It
only.
won't address the Rust-Oleum issue directly. That has to, all we're talking about here is cleaning up an ordinance.
This is just.
That's correct.
Well,
And-
okay, I mean, is Rust-Oleum coming in because it is considered a variance?
Well, they submitted for a permit, and in doing the review, that's when we discovered the conflict in the sign code.
So no, they're not coming.
So we had one section telling us office signs are prohibited altogether, and then another section that gives specific regulations for wall signs on office buildings. So we did a little research, drove around the village, looked at other office buildings, and it seemed like the first section that gave specific regulations for wall signs is what has been applied in the past, and so we believe that was the intent, and so to resolve the conflict, we're recommending eliminating the exception that prohibits any wall sign on an office building.
So their request, though, will still have to come in.
Their request then, they have two frontages, so they would be allowed to have two wall signs, one on each
But you have
frontage.
the monument sign.
Right.
So they won't be coming in.
You have a monument
No.
sign,
Right.
No, they'll be permitted two wall
Right.
signs, one on,
Right.
two wall signs, but they'll
One on
have
each
two
front.
wall signs
plus
plus
the
the
monument.
monument
Right.
sign. But the monument sign is in the front, and the wall sign is also going to be in the front.
Right.
Yes.
It's similar to Fifth Third Bank, PNC Bank,
Yeah.
Northwest University Health
I'm fine with
Systems,
Right.
two wall signs, one monument sign. So we think that was the intent of the code, and that's why we're
If
making
you
the
did
Is
recommendation.
Baxter
Would they have
like
to
that
come in?
too?
Baxter has,
Credit union.
Baxter has one
Baxter
wall
has one
sign and a,
front.
yeah,
Yep, they've
exactly,
got the
thank you.
sign.
As one
Okay.
wall sign, not two.
No, they have one on each in front.
If
All right,
you
there's a
don't,
motion and a second.
no, if you don't eliminate the second part for the exception that we want to clean up the ordinance, I understand that. But if you don't eliminate it, then do they have to come in? Does any company have to come in for variance?
Well, I'd have to say yes. It's an interesting question because the code is in complete conflict, you know.
Right.
There's one section that says, provides specific regulations on how, and permits a wall sign, and then another section that says, office buildings can't have wall signs. So I
think
guess
that was the intent.
technically, and I'd look for counsel to help me with the answer, even though the code's in conflict, there is one section that says they're prohibited, so they would need.
Specifically for office buildings.
Yeah,
prohibited.
so I guess they'd need a variation from that section unless
And
we
I think
amended
that's
the
why it was
code.
put in there. Testing my memory.
Yeah.
But really, for tonight, I mean, it's really, we have a
Tonight.
conflict in the code, so what we need is, what we're requesting is direction from the board to understand how to resolve the conflict, and then we know how to apply the code and whether or not they need a variation.
Okay,
So.
can
what
somebody
we're-
restate that there was a motion made?
There is.
Huh?
There is a motion made per the staff's recommendation.
That's it?
Directing
From the
sta-
first and the second agrees?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Williams.
No,
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Motion carries.
throw the sign ordinance out.
Okay.
We just did.
Is there a motion to adjourn, go into committee of the whole to discuss personnel?
So made.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz. Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you, good night. We won't be coming out to discuss any other business.
You're gonna fix your books that sets like this?